1.5 over Luke. Up the inside, takes over the lead. Board tries to fight back. They come to the start finish straight. Board and more. Queensland 1, Queensland 2, Board up the inside. Tahiri takes the lead with 15 laps to go. So down the short chute they run. Mitchell Wall will be watching this going on in front of him and enjoying what he's seeing. Want to fight it out means that he can start to close the gap. He had 1.6 seconds between Moore and himself. Still there in fourth place. Getting a bit full on further back in the pack as well. The number 12 cart, Michael Collins, heading up a group that includes Lucas Genev and Jared Ninett. They go through the XPS Motor Oils set of corners, but up the front, Christopher Board started to open a gap here. It's out to almost half a second over Lane Moore. The push from Moore to get in front of Board just a few laps ago might have been the catalyst for this response from the number 43. Third position is Mitchell Wall still, then Seymour. Now the two Van Leeuwenhoek brothers on track together. Zach and Sam. Zach holding the advantage at the moment. Just over a second on Sam, who's pushing his way forward. New fastest lap for Lane Moore, a 50.485 the last time through. 0.445 is the gap between Chris Board and the number 43 and the number 7 of Lane Moore. Twelve laps to go now. And Board responds with another fastest lap at 50.467. That gap sits at 0.693 at the moment between Board and Moore as they go through the XPS corners and head up the long back straightaway again. Ball holding about 0.8 of a second over Seymour for the final podium position. Seymour, in fact, a bit faster than our third place man the last time through. Good battle going on at the back still. On the front straightaway now. 2 and 3 wide heading down to turn number 1. It's a fascinating battle up the front. Board and Moore swapping fastest laps. Moore's been able to respond again with a 50.440. Now just 0.496. He's just had to cool the jets for a couple of laps there as Lane Moore. Tense battle coming up here in Dubbo City Welding Works. Rotax heavy. 10 laps to go. Moore slightly faster than Board that time. Battle for third starting to heat up as well between Wall, Seymour and Zach Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen's been on the charge the last couple of laps. Wall's holding it down at the moment. Seymour's been taking a couple of tenths of a second a lap out of him. And so too is Van Leeuwen. So the podium's not over and done with on this one yet either. With 9 laps to go. That's the battle you're watching here. Mitchell Wall is in the number 65. Luke Seymour is in the 10. And Van Leeuwen, the Nova Castrian, is in the number 4. So having their fight through the jokers in corner. That's really closed up. While you're watching that, we'll also be keeping an eye on what's going on up the front. Wall still holding down third place. Seymour doing what he can to get on racing terms with him in the Platinum Motorsport number 10. Meantime, back at the front, there's the gap between Board and Moore. Just 0.284 the last time. What is it this time? Board responds, 0.268 this time. Seymour really attacking the back of Wall for the final podium position. Van Leeuwen holding a watching brief. He's back of the picture. Down the hill comes our first place battle. Nothing's changed there at this stage. Wall's got some breathing space over Luke Seymour. Van Leeuwen still charging hard in 5th. 7 laps remaining. This one's going to be a ripper. Lane Moore promised it would be. Wall and Seymour going at it for the final podium position here this afternoon. Wall's got some pace up the hill. Of course, throwing in the TF Race Engines team. And meantime, up the front, Moore's been able to get into the lead over the top of the hill. So Lane Moore gets into the lead and has quite a margin over our second place man as they come back to the start-finish straight. 6 laps to go. So Moore working his way down through the XPSSs. He's got the advantage over Board. Something happened in the very part of the racetrack where they're at the moment on the last lap through, which opened up the opportunity for Lane Moore to retake the lead over Christopher Board. It's been a tremendous battle throughout the course of the weekend, but I don't think it's over and done with just yet. Back to the start-finish straight comes our leader. He's only got 5 laps left to go. Here's the battle for third spot. Seymour all over the back of Wall down to turn number 1. Not close enough to throw it up the inside just there. Van Leeuwen still charging in 5th spot. He's trying to close on in to get himself in this podium battle. Six-tenths of a second was the gap between our top two the last time across the wall. There he is in 3rd position. Seymour in 4th place. Can Seymour get himself up on the podium? He's got 4 laps to do it. Down to turn number 1 they go. Not close enough at Mojo to try and have a look. I'd say he hasn't got a great deal of mojo left in those tyres, Luke Seymour, after a hard weekend of racing, a hot weekend of racing here at Dubbo. Performed superbly well, Seymour, representing the Central Districts Kart Club out of Lithgow in New South Wales. We've got one more race after this one to go, that being Junior Max. Oh gee, he went in deep there, did Seymour. Ben Lewiston's just watching this go on in front of him. There's only 3 laps left to go now. Final, the second round of the Rotax Pro Tour for season 2018. Board's got the gap between first and second, down to 0.469. It was a 6.84 for Moore, a 5.91 for Board the last time through. Not overdone with up the front either. Small gets down on, hard into the braking area at the right-hander. Looks like Wall's found a bit of pace on Seymour over the last lap. I think he's going to have to worry about Van Lewiston fairly shortly. Board takes only 100th of a second out of Moore on that lap through with 2 laps left to go. Still, Seymour hasn't given up designs on finishing in 3rd place. There he is pressuring the rear of Mitchell Wall. Moore down the hill, he'll see that he's got one more lap to go. There's the battle for 3rd still going on. Wall's got the pace down the hill. So 1 to go for our race leader, Lane Moore, to make it 2 from 2. He holds just 0.4 of a second over Christopher Ford in 2nd place. What a battle it's been between these two all weekend long. Nothing's changed in the battle for 3rd. While we're watching our winners, or our top 2 I should say, hit up the hill for the final time. Still status quo for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Moore holds down the lead run in the Team CRG Australia entry. Down the hill he comes. Board still pushing. Here comes one of his final opportunities. He goes very deep. There's Christopher Board. One more corner to go for Lane Moore to come across the line and be a back-to-back winner in Rotax Pro Tour 2018. Gets it done. 2nd place to Christopher Board. 3rd place goes to Seymour in the end. I didn't see what happened on the final corner, but Seymour gets through on Mitchell Wall. Zach Van Lewiston, a narrow 5th place. Jared Nine at home in 6th position. Then Lucas Genev, he gets the 7th place over Sam Van Lewiston. Then Michael Collins rounds out our finishes. But what a finish. What a race. What a weekend. Lane Moore takes it in Rotax Heavy by just over 0.3 of a second on Christopher Board. Luke Seymour leaves it to the very last corner to get the 3rd place that he had been pushing the entire race for. And Mitchell Wall rounds out the top 4 with great drive from Zach Van Lewiston to come home in 5th position. Moore gets the fastest lap as well, a 50.440. Rotax Pro Tour at Dubbo this weekend has been absolutely terrific. And thank you once again to Dubbo City Welding Works for getting on board with us here this weekend to bring you Rotax Heavy. Trust you've been enjoying all the action. We do only have one class left to go. We'll be hearing from the pole sitter very shortly in Shemik Racing Junior Max. Just down here with our Junior Max pole sitter, Ryan Wood. Ryan, it's been a terrific season for you in the Rotax Pro Tour so far, and this weekend you haven't really put a foot wrong.
No, I'm just accepting qualified fourth, but besides that, we've had a good weekend.
And the Praga team that you've got behind you this weekend as well, they're doing a great job right across the board, but particularly with you.
Yeah, they're always putting in all their efforts. It's really appreciated. And yeah, hopefully we can bring home the win today.
Good stuff, mate. No doubt took plenty of encouragement from seeing Josh Hart get up there earlier on. I'll let you get back to the kart. There he is, the pole sitter for Junior Max here this afternoon, Ryan Wood. The colour of the capacity grid down here for Junior Max, the final race of the weekend here at Dubbo, round 2 of the Rotax Pro Tour. Ryan Wood, the Kiwi, to start on the pole. William Seal's been right there with him throughout the course of the weekend. Keep an eye on Huey Barter from the second row of the grid. You can see Jaden Pope there, the number 7. Got his head down, getting himself in the zone, visualising what lays ahead over the next 21 laps. Great result in the pre-final for Deitch Racing's Jonathan Markison to be starting 6th position in his comp kart. Just waiting for the nod from officials. Final moments before we get the thumbs up. Let the pit crews exit the race circuit. Through for 8th. It hasn't really gone his way this weekend. Driver of the number 18, driving for Zups. Start them up as the call, and away they go. Some of the best youngsters in Australian motorsport. Certainly one of the best in New Zealand motorsport. Lining up on the pole position, the number 40 Praga of Ryan Wood, the man that we just heard from. On the outside front row will be the 95 of William Seal for Tom Williamson Motorsport. Jaden Pope, the second of the TWM drivers, will start from position 3 with Hugh Barter, the second of the Pragas, on the outside second row. So very much a match race between Praga and Cosmic, G-Force and TWM. Luke Pink in the 49 out of 5 with Jonathan Markison in the comp kart out of position number 6 of 71. Bo Prenesti, great starting position for the next of the TWM drivers in the 10 with Jared Hughes in the 18 alongside him. James Wharton, the number 9, number 13 Shimmick Racing Kart will start from 9th with Taylor Hazard in the 14 out of position number 10. Off the 6th row of the grid is Luke Thomas and Bailey Hazard in the 55. Then row 7 is Jack Hodder in the 33 and Connor Davison in the 32. Jacinta Hoey in the 97, Bailey Sweeney in the 23. Row 9 is the 03 of Angus Wallace with Curtis Tennant in the 57. Page that's in the 20. We'll start from 19th on the grid with Adrian Hark in the 6 out of position 20. Row 11 is Ruben Goodall in the 2 and Jack Grambauer stood on the podium at our last round in the 72. Rusty Ross in the 58 and Joshua Sargent in the 74. The 65's Noah Sands and Theodore Lavanis. Liam Jones, Jackson Rooney, Tyson Jennings, Christian Mansell and Harrison Stock. 31 youngsters set to be unleashed around this Lincoln County Raceway for the last time today. Set for a start, we're away. And Wood gets the best of it down to turn number 1. Can they all get through there cleanly? The answer is yes. What a start that was. Great stuff, and it is Wood who assumes the lead. Right from the start, so Ryan Wood, the position that he's been in pretty much all weekend long, continues on up the front and leads away. Through the top turn they scream. There's plenty going on in the mid-pack in the first lap of this race. Down the hill they come. Pope in second spot, the number 7, Seal in third. Luke Pink's got himself into 4th position in the all-white helmet as they come through the final corner onto the front straight away. In the book. Through the Jokers Inc. turn they go. Wood leads marginally over Pope. Seal right behind him as they head up the hill. William Seal in the 95 shadowing his TWM teammate through the top corner. Seal, when is he going to have a crack here at Pope? He slots in behind him through the right-hander there. Prenesti running in 6th position at the moment. That's a Rotax Pro Tour. Fires, there's a drama there for Seal. The door's open for Pink in the Lawks' back machine to go into 3rd position. So Luke Pink up to position number 3. So he now comes into calculation. Does Pink. The early stages, everyone just trying to sort themselves out on the racetrack, work out who's where. Down the hill goes Ryan Wood. Super impressive youngster. He's been on the Pro Tour for a couple of years now. Sees this as his time to shine. He goes across the line. Seal gets back on Pink for 3rd. Then it's Huey Butter in 5th. Bo Prenesti, great drive from him so far. James Wharton and Simic Racing 13 in 7th. Marcuson in 8th, followed by Thomas and Hazard. Rounding out your top 10 as they sit at the moment. That's a gap between 1st to 2nd. That's exactly what 0.4 of a second looks like as they come down the hill again. Equal distance between our top 5 at the moment. Butter looks like he's starting to close into the rear of his fellow Parga driver, Luke Pink, who's also caught up to the back of our 3rd place man, William Seal again. Prenesti putting in a great drive to try and get himself on the tail of this group. And then he pulls off to the side of the racetrack. Not one of our front runners. Prenesti pushing on there in the number 10 cart. $49,530 the last time through for your race leader Ryan Wood. Pope was faster and Seal faster again. So as they come across the line, 5 laps in the books now. Top fight going on to make it inside the top 10 at the moment. With Hazard and co. So lead them around. Leading from Jaden Pope in the 7. And we are under a full course caution situation. So yellow lights ablaze around the circuit. This makes it a little bit more interesting. First one that we've seen today, we've got something that's in an unsafe position on the race circuit. So our officials have deemed to bring the race under their control, very much like you'd see a safety car. Oh! Sail into the back of Pope heading up the hill. It's absolutely drilled him heading up there. So saying officials have deemed something to be in an unsafe position on the race circuit, so they bring the race under their control. I imagine it's got something to do with the tyre barrier just where the drivers are about to go past. Our race director Russell White down in that part of the race circuit to manoeuvre a cart out of the way. Yes, cart's gone in there relatively hard, so Russell, our race director, fixing that up and pushing the tyres back into place. On his birthday as well, so no rest for the wicked here. There's Russell, one of our hard-working volunteer officials, on screen at the moment. And it was a 57 cart that was involved in that one. It's Curtis Tennant. It's been a great weekend for young Curtis. So we've got that cart out of harm's way. We've got the tyre wall back in position. Get our officials off the track with us. Still under slow. Still Ryan Wood leads the way. He's got Pope and Seal behind him, then Pink and Barter. This is really closed it up. The battle for the back end of the top 10 was absolutely incredible. There's about 5 or 6 of them involved behind Jonathan Marcuson in the 71. Now they've all closed in. And so it'll be game on up the front. We'll have to see the best of young Ryan Wood here. He's got Pope and Seal right behind him. Getting set for a restart fairly shortly, you'd have to think. We're watching for the green flag. We'll go one more. Jack Grambauer's been pulling qualifiers at the back to catch up. So it's the Praga that leads from the 2 Cosmics. Fourth place is Pink, then Barter. Sorry, there's an anomaly on the timing screen. I can see the green flag up on the flag stand. That means we're getting set for a restart with 15 laps to go. Way down to turn away again here in the final race of the day. Junior Max through Mojo, turn number 1. They're all through that part A-OK. And Wood picks up where he left off. Snarling pack works their way up the top of the hill. Sparta in fifth. Trying to get purchase on the racetrack. Sits a lot lower in the cart than Luke Pink. Trying to get his way up the inside. Has a crack at the final corner in the 68. Goes up to position number 5. 4, I should say, and moves down the front straight away. Then the 10 of Prenesti. He's right in the mix as well now. Through the Jokers in corner they run. So this is a tense battle between our top group as they work their way up the hill. Pope in second in the 7 cart. He's stalking the rear of the Kiwi, who's won every single race of the weekend so far. Down the hill they come. Oh, Pope looks like he's in striking distance here. He is. He looks up the inside for the lead. And we have a new race leader. The number 7 of Jade. He assumes the lead as they come through the way. And look at William Seal, who's right there as well. Down through Jokers in turn they run. What a race this is. And now Seal goes up the inside and he goes to second spot. Barter goes with him. So Wood's gone from first back to fourth in the space of about 4 corners here this afternoon. So the youngster, will we see the best of Ryan Wood here? Just got to settle himself down and try and fight his way back. But up the front, Pope, he's got the clear air. He can just concentrate on his race lines and start to pull away from Seal. But Prenesti starts to come into the calculation as well. He's in 6th. You'll see the flash of bright orange at the back of your screen. The driver of the PPG back machine. Got a classic Junior Max battle in 6th. There'll be 7 to go when they come back to the start finish straight. The next time. Looks as though Pink's starting to wind up as well, back in 5th position. Pink was close to Wood as they headed up the hill. Wood's pulled out a little bit on him on the exit of the double left-hander, but Huey Barter's got himself into a podium position at the moment. Seal's the fastest driver on circuit in 2nd. He's all over the back of his fellow Cosmic Mounted. Jaden Pope, the 2 Tom Williamson Motorsport drivers, 1 and 2 at the moment in this Junior Max final presented by Shimmick Racing. What a way to bring the curtain down on the 2nd round of the Rotax Pro Tour here this weekend. Through the flip-flop goes Pope. Seal all over the back of him. Then Barter, Wood trying to fight back in 4th spot. Then it's Pink. The next one's Prenesti. His highest ever position in Junior Max. Down the front straight away they go. Got a meatball flag on display for someone I think this would be further back in the pack. I think I saw a rear crash bar hanging from one of our cars. There's definitely a rear crash bar hanging from the back of the 25 as he comes past. So 5 to go up the front. They work their way over the hill. Still all to play for here. Of course, Rotax rankings points being scored as well in this afternoon's final. Still a lot to play out for. 5 to go. Still starting to close in on Pope. Gave him a fair old slam under yellow. Barter doing a terrific job in 3rd. He's got a renewed confidence this year, Huey Barter. Came into Todd Road absolutely bouncing about making the step into Junior Max this year. Been a terrific year for it, with so many drivers stepping up from the sub-junior categories as well. Through the right-hander they go. Prenesti just dropping off the back of our top 5 at the moment. Wood unable to make any real impression on Barter since he got shuffled back to that 4th spot. Pink still there in 5th, holding a watching brief. The order at the moment is Pope from Seal. Then it's Barter, Wood, Pink, Prenesti, Martin, Taylor Hazard, James Wharton at 10th. Then it's Thomas, Davison, Hughes, Hotter, Redats, Angus Wallace, Jacinta Hoey in 17th, Josh Sargent in 18th, Bailey Sweeney and Ruben Goodall rounding out your 20. Seal, the fastest driver out there, a 49.286. They're lapping in a 49.3s up the front. Speaking of 3s, that's all we have left remaining. What has been a tremendous Junior Max final. Down the front straight away they go. Dubbo's really turned it on this weekend. William Seal starting to look racy on his teammate in the number 7. Still very much a game of cat and mouse out there at the moment. I'd say business is about to pick up. 2.5 laps left to go. Seal now all over the back of Pope. Up the inside he goes. We have a new race leader. Oh, Pope isn't giving up this one without a fight. He's right there with him. Down the front straight away they go. 2 remaining now. It's Seal and Pope, nose to tail. Huey Barter, he'll be there to pick it up as now Ryan Wood decides he's going to go for the podium. Wood gets himself into 3rd. He won our first round. He's looking to end up this one in at least 3rd position, but he can also read the play of what's going on in front of him. Still not over by a long shot with a lap and a half left to go. The 2 TWM drivers out the front. Seal leads from Pope, then it's Wood. Barter, followed by Pink, then Prenesti's caught back up. Then it's Jonathan Markison, he's the next one in the lineup. 1 more lap to go here at Dubbo this afternoon. Down to turn number 1 they go. Seal holds the advantage. Pope right in there behind him. There's through the left-hander at Jokers Inc. Now into the XPSS's. Up the back straight away, Seal puts a foot down. Could he be about to cross the line first? Or will Pope have something to say about it? Down the front straight away they go. Through the right-hander. Checkered flag is at the ready. Just 1 more corner left remaining here. William Seal leads them out. Onto the front straight away and gets the checkered flag. Seal takes it. Pope comes home in 2nd spot. Ryan Wood, he gets home in 3rd position. Then it's Barter in 4th spot. Number of battered and bruised go-karts coming across the line in 5th place was Luke Pink. He can walk away knowing that he had the fastest lap of the race. What a performance from Bo Prenesti to come home in 6th spot. Jonathan Markison, he was 7th. In 8th place was Taylor Hazard. In 9th spot, Bailey Hazard. So a good result for the New South Wales brothers. Then James Wharton home in 10th. In 11th spot was Luke Thomas. And Jared Hughes, Jack Hotter. Paige Redats home in 14th. In 15th was the 0-3 of Angus Wallace. Followed by Jacinta Hoey, Josh Sargent, Connor Davison, Ruben Goodall, Noah Sands, Adrian Harkin 21st. Christian Mansell, Jack Grambauer home in 23rd position. Bailey Sweeney in 24th. Liam Jones, 25th. 26th was Harrison Stock. Then it was Jackson Rooney, Tyson Jennings, Curtis Tennant, Rusty Ross and Theodore Lavanis. Wow, what a finish. 2 proceedings here this afternoon. William Seal getting across the line first in the 95. Jaden Pope coming home in 2nd. And Ryan Wood recovering for a 3rd position. that brings to a close our on-track proceedings here at Dubbo. We'll be back after a short break with our presentations, with thanks to the Rotax Pro Tour. Thank you again to Schmick Racing for bringing us that utterly tremendous Junior Max final. We'll be back shortly.